Hey folks, Larry Winget here, joining you today for a Facebook Live. We've done this before. Looking forward to y'all joining me here. Truly, this is an impromptu one. I'm just going to answer a few of your questions and maybe rant just a little bit about a few things. And we'll see who shows up and go from there. When you show up, give me a little thumbs up over here on the side, and I'll know who's here. Say howdy, whatever you want to do. It is a gorgeous warm day. I don't know how it is where you are, but good Lord, it's going to be 82 degrees here today, and that's amazing. I love it. You can tell that I am sitting outside. There's Paul. There's Don. You can tell I'm sitting outside enjoying a fabulous cigar, and finished my coffee and all that stuff. There's Ruth and Jonathan and AJ and Dave and Alan and Marilee and Leslie and Janice, and there you go. All right, there's Paul Heyer. Ruth said it's cold in Minneapolis. Well, it's because you live in Minneapolis. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. It was about 20 years ago. My wife and I are sitting around Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's cold. It's icy. Oklahoma gets ice. Not a lot of snow, but we do get a lot of ice. I turned to my wife. I was 45 years old at the time, and I said, you know, I love living in Tulsa, Oklahoma 4 months out of the year. I mean, I love it 4 months out of the year. The rest of the time, it's hot and humid, mosquitoes and all that, or it's covered up in ice. But 4 months out of the year, it's hard to beat. But if you look at how old I am now and how much longer I have, I said I'm pretty good probably for about 30 years. I was 45 then. I'm good for about 30 years, which means I'm absolutely going to love where I live 1/3 of the time. So 10 years out of 30 years, I'm going to love where I live. The numbers don't work for me. I mean, it's one of those old things. Do the math. I'd rather love where I live all the time. And I think life is too short to shiver. So we, just like good old Jed Clampa did, we loaded up the truck and we moved to Paradise Valley, Arizona. So 82 degrees. And so all you people who are shivering out there, you know, you can move. There you go. So there's Amy and Sao. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Excuse me. There's Eric Kidd and there's Josh. There's Gabby, and look at this crowd. There's Gregory Seaborn, cold here in Toronto. Well, of course it is. You're in Canada. So there you go. So there's Cricket. All right, folks. By the way, if you're going to be around today and can turn into Fox News, I'll be on there at 4:30 Eastern, where I'll be talking about the stock market and how, oh my God, it's dropped 1,000 points. Get over it, folks. Take a deep breath. It's called long-term investments. And if you're in it, thinking that it's a week at a time or something like that, you realize that in 2012, today in 2012, 6 years ago, the market was at 12,862. Now it's still over 25,000. We've damn near doubled in the last 6 years. And people are hesitating. Now, they're pulling money out of their 401ks. Can you believe that? Because we had a drop. They're not going to get in the market now because it had a drop. It's called a blip. It might be time to buy, might not, but there you go. So I'll be talking about that this afternoon. And we have short-term emotional reactions to what is a logical situation. Over time, you make money when you're in the market. I mean, it doubled in the last 6 years. It's had a pretty good year so far in just 1 year. So you can't have emotional reactions to logical situations. We certainly do that with the market. We do that with money. But, you know, we do that in all areas of our lives, too. We have these knee-jerk emotional reactions to things that are going on. When what we really need to do is maybe take a deep breath. Calm down, folks. Good God. And that's sort of what I'm going to talk to you about. I did a little thing the other day on our group, UBS, Ultimate Business Summit, on our insider page there. And by the way, if you're not in over there, you can apply to be a part of that. It is a private group where we talk to entrepreneurs and managers and business owners about how to do better in their business, and that because it's truly a business page. And what I was talking to them about there was I saw a thing the other day about pick your word for the year. And everybody was saying, success and prosperity. And, oh, my God, I was just worn out looking at all the stuff these things were doing. And I posted my word of the year was less. Yep, L-E-S-S, less. I want pretty much less. And that got a big reaction because we live in this, and especially here in these kind of groups and all these entrepreneurs with everybody saying you ought to join an MLM group, you ought to become an entrepreneur or whatever. No, you probably shouldn't really. Is that we're all focused on crush it and destroy it and dominate it. I mean, good God, there's so many of the idiots out there with that crush, dominate, and destroy mentality. How about add value and be of service? That seems to me to be a better long-term strategy than crush, dominate, and destroy. Because that stuff can turn around on you pretty quick. And so they were confused about less. And so let me just say, when it comes to less, let me tell you what I mean. I want less drama in my life. Don't you? You know the best way to have less drama? Don't participate. I posted something today. You all are here, so you probably saw that. And good God, people want to argue with me about it. Yeah, I'll explain what I'm talking about, but I'm just not going to fight with people anymore as much as I have in the past. And believe me, that's tough for me because I like a good fight. So I want less drama. I want less chaos. I want to simplify, which means I need less stuff. By the way, you need less stuff too. Yep, you do. You need less stuff. You know, it's better for you to spend more money on fewer things. We end up buying a bunch of crap. We surround ourselves with a bunch of crap where if you had one or two really good things, they'd last you a whole lot longer. You'd be prouder of them and you'd enjoy them a whole lot more. Instead, we buy a lot of crap. So save your money, do whatever it has to do. And, you know, it's that old buy once, cry once thing. Do it right the first time so you're not having to do it over all the time. I need less stuff. I need less people. That's right. I need less people in my life. Don't you need less people in your life? Good God. I pretty much only want to dedicate my time to the people I really care about, which in my case is my family, my grandkids. I have 2 sons. I like their wives, so I love my family unit. And I want more time for them and less time for everybody else in the whole world. You know, people write me and say, let's get together. You know, I haven't talked to you in 15 years. I don't need to get together with you. I hope you're doing great. I really do. We're not meeting for coffee. I can buy my own cup of coffee, by the way. I can buy my own lunch. I can buy my own dinner. I'd rather selfishly, in some people's opinion, but I'm a big proponent of being selfish. Yeah, I am. Be charitable with your time. Be charitable with your money. Be charitable with your talents and so forth, but also be very, very selfish. Hold back. Don't compromise your sanity. Don't compromise your time with the people who really matter in order to make a bunch of people that ultimately don't matter so much in your life happy by spending time with them. So I selfishly would rather sit here on my patio like I'm doing right now. And by the way, there's Leon. He's sleeping. Look at old Leon over there. Leon's sleeping behind me. I got a cigar in my hand. My wife comes out every once in a while. We just had a cup of coffee here and a nice chat. I would rather selfishly spend my time doing that than trying to make a whole bunch of other people happy who really just want to plug in and drain me of all my good stuff. I'll save my good stuff for people who I care much more about. There's Chris. Yo, Larry. Yo, Chris. There's Mary Lee. There's Jim, John, Lloyd, Douglas. Look at all that stuff. There's Carl. There's Jerry. Appreciate that. I'd also like to have less work. Yeah, and don't say that because, I'm older and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, all that stuff's true, and I don't want to work as hard as I once did, and maybe I'm at a different place. In fact, I probably am at a different place than many of you. And I'm not talking about not working as hard. I'm talking about less work. And less work means that we need to focus on and work harder on fewer things too. I said spend more money on fewer things. Well, work harder on fewer things, the things that get you the most results. We spend our time staying busy. And there's that whole thing about busyness, versus business. And yeah, there are lots of cliches wrapped around it, and most of them make perfect sense to me. That's why they become cliche. We said them so much that they absolutely make perfect sense. And one of those is that we get so busy doing a lot of low return on investment activities that we don't have time to spend on the things that really do matter. Here's something I do every night before I go to bed. I look at tomorrow. Now, I don't wait till tomorrow, which would then be today, to figure out what I'm doing today. I know in advance. And I can weed through pretty quickly saying, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. Here's what I know the day before. These things have to get done. I didn't say it would be nice to get done. I didn't even say I wanted them to get done. I didn't say, well, I did say they have to get done. But here's the thing. I can't survive unless they get done. My business can't survive unless they get done. So I do those things first. If I've said I'll be there, I'll be there. Period. I keep my word. I think we need a lot more of that. People keeping their word about the things that really matter and letting all that other stuff just slide. So when I say less work, I'm not talking about not working as hard. I'm talking about working harder, but only harder on the things that really move you forward, closer to your goals, bring you the most amount of income, bring you the most happiness, the most satisfaction, more customers, all that sort of stuff. I think that we all should embrace this whole idea of we need less. And that's what I would challenge you to do, is that you need less. And what's it going to be for you? What's your word for the year? And what do you need to make a decision about that you're going to want to do a whole lot less of? Got any answers for me? You need to think about that for a while. All right. Lots of good comments over here. John said, great points as always, Larry. I appreciate that. There's Joanna with a little thumbs up, and Mary. And Adam says, I never meet for coffee or to discuss how we can collaborate. Or, boy, that picked my brain. I want to pick your brain. Hey, you know how I fixed all that? It was so easy, and I give everybody who does what I do a little coaching around that. I would be happy for you to pick my brain. Here's what I charge to do that. That's right. Picking my brain is part of my business. I mean, it's the business that I'm in, folks, and I'm happy to talk to you about your business, but you sure weed out all those hanger-ons by just saying, I appreciate that. This is what I would tell you if I were coaching you on your business, that you ought to charge when somebody wants to pick your brain. This is my fee for doing that. And so you can buy a 30-minute session, you can buy a 1-hour session, you can buy a whole year of it, you can buy 3 hours of it. Which one of those time frames would you like to buy? And here's the price for it, and we go from there. Very simple. And you know what? Some of them take me up on it and pay the money and pay the freight, and I'll give them my very best. I'll work hard. That's what I'm talking about. I work hard at giving them the best I've got. But those people who need my help, screw you if you need my help. I'm not helping people who need my help. You shouldn't be helping people who need your help either. You should be helping people who want your help. Big difference between wanting my help enough to honor what I would have to bring to the table to give you my help, which in other words means sell you my help, and people who just need my help. People who need your help rarely take the advice. Larry, I need your advice on this. Why? You're not going to do it anyway. Oh, isn't that cold to me? Yeah, it is kind of. It is kind of cold to me. But I've just discovered, after being alive this many years and being in this industry for this many years, that I don't want to just help people who need my help. I want people who want my help, because when they want it, they typically will do something with it. They'll take the advice, they'll take the information, and they'll do something with it, and that's when we see real change. There are too many people out there who just need. Needy people, being needy is never attractive to anybody. Have you noticed that? So, I want less interaction with non-productive people. There you go, Dave. You made a decision. I need less second-guessing myself. You know, Amanda, I can address that real quickly if you'd like. When you second guess yourself, you lack confidence. The reason you lack confidence is a couple of reasons probably, is that you always are waiting to make the right decision. Well, here's my opinion about that. When people, and my wife, if you went back and, asked her everything that she worked for me many, many years ago, long since we've been together. She was actually an employee of mine, long before we got married and dated and did all that sort of stuff. And if you ask her today, called her cold and said, what's the best thing you ever learned from Larry Winget? She would say this: make the decision, then make the decision right. We spend all this time worrying about making the right decision. Chances are about half your decisions are not going to be that great a decision. It's what you do about it then that really matters. Playing is off course 97% of the time. Great golfers are not great golfers because they always hit great shots. It's how good they are at correcting shots after they have mishit the first shot. And in life, the most successful people are not the people who always make great decisions. They're the people who make the decision quickly with the best information they can possibly gather. And then when it's the wrong decision, they do what it takes to correct it. So I don't spend a lot of time worrying about making the right decision. I give it the right amount of time, but then I will make that decision right. Big difference. Make the decision, then make the decision right. John Wall says, I can't agree more. Oh, sure you can. Try. Right now, I want you to try to agree more. I appreciate that, John. Glenn Tweddle said, hear, hear, mate. Based on the fact that he said, hear, hear, mate. Can the rest of you figure out where Glenn is from? Glenn is from Australia. Glenn, I thought I was coming over there this year. You need to call me. Make arrangements. Get me over there. I'd love to be there. There's Pete Pingle, and he says, love it, Larry. Thank you. You bet. A lot of little thumbs up there. I appreciate that. All right, folks. I don't believe in belaboring these. If y'all don't have any direct questions of me, I will move along. I hope you've enjoyed this little rant, this little discussion about how to kind of get more done in your life and how to have a better year. I hope you can figure out how to enjoy the weather wherever it is, wherever you are, even if it's cold. I was in Louisville this last weekend, 16 degrees. Good God, I haven't been around 16 degrees in a while. That was tough on me. Life is too short to shiver. And it was hard to go for a walk in 16 degrees. But I did it. So there you go. Jonathan says, Larry, 1 sec. Time's up. There was your sec. All right. So many of you are saying nice thank you. Merci. South says merci, which might tell me where they are from as well. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you like this, it'll be on Facebook. Pass it on to some people who might be able to learn from this, and we'll go from there. Be sure to follow me here on Facebook if you know people who could benefit from the things that I post. By the way, I have a couple of podcasts out there. I'm releasing one this afternoon. It'll be out tomorrow. It's sort of a classic where I took 3 of my old Ask Larry Anything episodes and put them together into one long podcast. I'll be doing some more stuff like that too, because some of them are just so good. So that's the Grow a Pair podcast. I also have How to Be a Real Man podcast that I do with my buddy, Chris Widener, who just showed up on here a moment ago. How to Be a Real Man. And what's interesting is we have more women subscribers than we do men. Because women know the importance of raising their kids and maybe educating their husbands, their wives, or brothers, or whatever, on what it takes to be a real man. And it's not all that macho BS stuff. I had somebody say the other day, I bet you don't even know how to fight. Like, that's what it takes to be a real man. It's about honesty and integrity and core values, and those are the things we talk about. And if you have a question for us around that, you can write us at Real Man Questions. We'll answer anything. Total transparency. We've already had one podcast about sex, and it got a lot of great feedback. So follow me at here on Facebook and all the other social media platforms. Go to realmanpodcast.com. realmanpodcast.com to figure out that. The name of the podcast is How to Be a Real Man. And go to the Grow a Pair podcast as well. Thank you all so much for being here. Talk to you later. Bye.